Updates in sport, Aaron does it better. Aaron, how you doing?
Yes, a very good morning to you, Rufai. Good morning to you, Doctor. And Adesua, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And let's start it off from games yesterday. And it was blinding lights at the Hawthorns yesterday as Manchester City returned to the top of the Premier League thanks to a devastating performance from the citizens on the day. In form, Gundogan scored twice, Cancelo, Mahrez, Sterling were all on the score sheet for them. Now you look at the table in the English Premier League. 9 different teams have been on top of the table. That's why I still feel it's a little bit harsh on what happened to Frank Lampard. Understanding that on the 12th of September, you can see Arsenal have been there, Everton, Leicester City, Liverpool, Southampton, Tottenham, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City being the latest to actually rise to the summit of the table. And almost all the teams there have actually had crooked patches in the last 6 weeks. And I felt it was a little bit harsh, but we'll be talking about Chelsea and the way forward. Moving away from this, now this would interest you, Adesua, or you'll be glad about this, as Arsenal came from behind to beat Southampton and moving to 8th place in the Premier League thanks to Bukayo Saka, who actually scored a goal and made another in their FA Cup win. To revenge their FA Cup loss to Southampton at the St. Mary's. You look at the Premier League table right about now, Manchester City on top of the table. Arsenal have risen to 8th on the table. Manchester United are in 2nd place, Leicester 3rd, and then West Ham United in unfamiliar territory, I must actually say. Liverpool have been demoted to 5th. That is how ruthless this season has been in the English Premier League. For the brevity of time, let's turn our attentions to Chelsea. Now, Rufai, the man, Thomas Tuchel, has been appointed, and he wasted no time as he was given the green light after doing his COVID-19 test. He laced his boots and went straight into the field yesterday night. And according to reports, the Cobham Center where they do train was buzzing with light and activities late into the night as he trained with the speed pool, doing a lot of high pressing, what will be expected. And let's see what becomes of that man. We know that he will be having major games this week. More importantly, Chelsea have put up a list of these achievements on their website, looking at what he has done. He's won the DFB Pokal. He's won the Ligue 1 title twice. He's gone into the finals of the UEFA Champions League. They've put up his win ratio, and they're telling anybody that cares to listen, this is the man for the job. He'll be taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers tonight. All right, let's see what becomes of that particular game. It will be his induction into the Premier League. Would it be a baptism of fire is left to be seen or not. And the next game, still at home at the Stamford Bridge, will be against Burnley over the weekend. So let's see how that one plays out. Now, moving away from that, now in Italy, foes or probably former teammates went head-to-head as Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Romelu Lukaku butted heads, exchanged serious vile words against each other in what was a heated wars of temper as he flared up in the Milan derby. It was a Milan derby, and at the same time it was a Coppa Italia quarterfinals yesterday. Of course, Inter Milan went on to win 2-1. Lukaku scored a penalty in that game. Zlatan Ibrahimovic ultimately was sent off for a second yellow card, and Zlatan was left red-faced because I'm sure his team would have wanted him to be on the pitch and influence the game, but he let his emotions get the best of him. Lukaku got a yellow card, stayed on the pitch, and ultimately scored a goal, although Christian Eriksen got the winner for them in that particular game at the San Siro, and yet one Milan team will be celebrating while another Milan team will be gnashing their teeth. Now, away from that to a Nigerian. We've celebrated him in 23 appearances. He scored 5 goals. And Ojo Judy Gallo has actually spoken out. And this is what he tweeted yesterday. He said that it was a pleasure. Once a Red, always a Red. He actually gave glowing reviews. We hear that there are discussions between him and a Dubai-based team that will bring about £7 million in terms of transfer. This is the exact what. It's hard to see this dream come to an end. I beg your pardon, but I give God the glory for helping me fulfill this lifelong dream of putting on the Manchester United shirt as a player and representing this great club. It was indeed an honor, and I will forever cherish and be grateful for. He went on about how his life has literally changed The 31-year-old still has a lot of time to play football, and he'll be able to do that either in Dubai or in the MLS, where interests are growing by the numbers. Before I come to you guys, let me turn my attention to the NBA. Games that were played. First of all, Kobe Bryant was celebrated all through this morning as it was 1 year yesterday into today because of timeshare, looking at America, how when Kobe Bryant unfortunately and painfully lost his life in that ill-fated crash with his daughter and several other people. He's being fondly remembered, and how time flies. We would have just thought that it was probably some few months ago, but it's been over a year. The Mamba, as he's called, is best remembered for his time with the LA Lakers, where he played for over 20 years.
Well, for Arsenal, I mean, what a difference 4 weeks can make.
Yes.
They've won 5 of their last 6
games,
and even the 6th one, it was a draw. So talk of relegation is gone. And even with Aubameyang missing 2 matches, the team seems to be doing well. Lacazette, Bukayo Saka that you mentioned, Pepe, who was there yesterday. So clearly, what a difference 4 weeks can make.
Yes.
As for Tuchel, well, does he have an option in the matter? Expectations are high, and I think today Chelsea will be playing Wolves, right?
Yeah, Chelsea will be playing Wolves.
And that's a first major test for Tuchel as he takes over at Chelsea. But I would like to draw your attention to what I consider a problem with the National Sports Festival.
All right.
In Edo State. Yesterday, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, met with a delegation from the Federal Ministry of Sports and Youth Development and also the local organizing committee. And he told that delegation that, well, Edo State is ready to host the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival to help Nigeria prepare for the Tokyo Olympics. But there is no money. And he hopes that if the federal government can make the money available, then Edo State will be willing to host over 11,000 athletes and officials. You recall that the last time we discussed Edo 2020 here, which was postponed, I was proposing that with that large crowd and with COVID-19, should we not just cancel it? And now the governor is saying there is no money. And even the head of the delegation is saying that we will go and look for the money. What money are they looking for? If they are going to go ahead, it's in 2 weeks. February 14.
Yes.
That's when it's supposed to start. So is it now 2 weeks to the National Sports Festival that the governor and the officials and the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development are just going to start looking for money? If they do not have money, they should cancel the National Sports Festival.
Doctor, it's unfortunate that the National Sports Festival, not just this particular edition, but previous editions have been bedeviled by postponement, talk about paucity of funds, just name it. Every problem that you can imagine or think about in the book will always be thrown forward. I do not blame the Edo State government, but the truth, because they were all prepared, all set, and all gone blazing before the COVID. COVID-19 has taken its toll, and it will be more expensive to host the tournament this time around under this particular COVID-19 pandemic era than it was probably 12 months ago. And more importantly, with the Ministry of Sports hoping that the Edo State government will bear the brunt of the expenses, I doubt if this will go on. And like you've said, I think if you'd ask me, it should be a toned down and a scaled down event. That is if it should hold.
But for Saka, I'm not surprised. He's the breath of fresh air.
Yes,
One
he
of the
has
best
been.
things that happened to Arsenal in recent times.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
And that's why you should support your academy. But concerning that, do we even ever do any of these festivals right? If they are saying because no money, when last did they host Nuga games, university games? I mean, there are many problems, Aaron. Let's not even open that Pandora's box.